Good morning, beautiful people. Why do I just start every freaking podcast? I start out stressed at this point because you know what? I am stressed. This week we have red wine, our good and old trusty. I had a sober day yesterday. I have intentional days where I'm sober. I know how that might sound. It's not like that, but like, why did I even say that? Me against nobody. Me against my childhood trauma. Anyway, yesterday was a sober day, and I thought about making today one too, but then I need to stop thinking so much. I've been thinking too much with these podcasts. Sorry, I'm yelling, but like I've been thinking too much with these podcasts. I listened to last week's podcast and I'm mad. Okay, it's not because all I do is overthink. I'm all like, oh, I shouldn't say that. People might think this way. You know what? People think a lot of things. Okay, and I can't control that. But what I can control is what I say, and I don't say anything that crazy. So if you don't like what I say, obviously it depends on like if you're my employer. Obviously, like I'm not gonna be stupid, but like see, I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. Me being like, I'm gonna be forever unemployed if I just talk on a podcast. Like, girl, nobody even watches this yet. Um. So yeah, putting on my wine glass on my phone. Can y'all see my phone? I don't know, but me always using my phone because where it's meant to be just is too inconvenient for me. Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of the episode. I'm stressing out because right now, today was actually supposed to be my intentional day, okay? So I kind of forget with planning things. You have to, like, when you have responsibilities and commitments, you have to plan according around those things, right? Right. So I wasn't doing, I think I just had a really good idea that we'll have to experiment next week with the microphone setup. Anyway, um, yeah, I am crashing out because I didn't even think about this. Okay, so Coachella is this week, by the way. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I have my full outfit, everything. I have a bandana. I have the shoes, the pants, custom made by me, by the way. The pants. Um, I'm so excited. I've been waiting to do this pants Coachella reveal for like 3 or 4 years now. So I am hyped is an understatement. Um, anyway, and so I've been excited for it. My thing is nobody interrupts my Coachella time, okay? But if I don't record the podcast, instead of watching freaking people perform, I'm gonna be recording. I'm gonna be like a man on a date with a freaking football game going on. I'm gonna be like watching and playing my drinking game, being like, aha, Sabrina Carpenter did Juno, ha ha ha. I also am unnecessarily a Sabrina Carpenter hater. We'll get into that in a second. Well, there's a reason I don't like Sabrina Carpenter because I listen. I really liked Emails I Can't Send. Okay, huge fan. Went to the tour event, drove hours to go to it. Loved that album. Later conversation, later topic. Point is, I didn't think about because I have all these commitments, which like thank God has been such a blessing. I've really been like socially putting myself out there, but like mildly. I haven't been going to random people in like nature. I haven't been like at a bar and been like, "Hey, random person, what's your life story?" Oh yeah, mine too. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Um, you want to be friends? Like, but thank God, genuinely, I've been having luck with like the dating apps and the friend apps and all that stuff. Um, and so life has been pretty good lately, socially, not work wise, but like that's okay. There's a trade off for everything. Anyway, I'll never beat the allegations. But oh, that fly. Um, I'm not me getting distracted for 10 minutes straight. Um, yeah, I forgot that means I have obligations. Speaking of which, I'm cooking pasta. Okay. See, this is just stressing people out. It's stressing me out. Speaking is stressing me out. Gosh dang it, I need more wine. That's not actually gonna help. Fun fact: alcohol doesn't actually help with strong emotions. Thank God I've never been the type to try. Oddly enough, like when my brother died, when any major event happens, like if I'm like severely like sad or like depressed or whatever, I genuinely don't even want to drink. Like if I'm seriously like if I'm mad, if I'm stressed, it just kills that want. So Thank God. But anyway, what I was saying was, um, I don't remember. I'm busy with Coachella. I'm just so. Oh yeah, my social life has been pretty good, and I also have my other like personal responsibilities that I have. Um, so my thing is with Coachella this weekend. I am unavailable. Okay, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you need. I am unavailable. Coachella, that is my lifeblood. Okay, it's not actually. Okay, that's not that's dramatic, but like it happens twice for two. It happens 6 days a week, girl. It happens 6 days a year. Okay, over the course of Friday, Saturday, Sunday of one week and Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the next week. My pasta is done. I am so sorry. I will be right back. I'm back. Hello, hello. Um. So, anyway, as I was saying, um, if I'm clipping this podcast, I'm so sorry. I don't think I am, but like, I'm not used to the mic being this far away. We're experimenting today. Um. Anyway, my dog's so cute. He's just looking at me right now. And so, what I was talking about was my social life has been pretty good, thank God. Such a blessing, for real, for real, for real. And I have a lot of responsibilities to deal with before Coachella. I'm so excited for Coachella. Right, we're back on track. Okay, so for Coachella, all right, I need to fulfill every requirement, and nobody can bother me during it, which means that I have somebody that I need to hang out with. They're really mainly available traditionally, usually, typically, Monday through Friday. Or, sorry, what? Friday through Sunday. Saturday through Sunday. 2 days. Friday through Sunday is usually the ideals. And they've gotten a weird schedule, and I've gotten a weird schedule. But I was like, I want to hang out with it. It's been a while. I want to show that I care and all that stuff. But at the same time, Coachella. I put in way too much effort. Like, here I am. This was supposed to be a me day, okay? I was supposed to just cook a ton of food, do laundry, and just be like chill and like all that stuff. Like, no. See, I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out. Instead, I have to get stuff done, which is like horrific, I know, but like it's not that actually that bad. I'm actually really grateful to be able to do this, and I really like enjoy doing this. I really do. I promise. Even though it hasn't been showing lately, girl, I've just been so overwhelmed. I'm just so sick of it. I'm so tired of it. I'm crashing out. Like I'm crashing out. This is my form of crashing out. But anyway, on the bright side, okay, social life's been doing pretty good. I've been like meeting new people, kind of sort of 50-50. But let's tell y'all a real story, okay? Let's talk about a real dating life story, okay? This time it's not just me being dramatic about Grace, which I'm not gonna say I love you because that's a little weird. But like, I love you, Grace. Say it back. No. Anyway, and so I was at work today. I kid you not. Oh, okay, I'm so sorry if you're watching this, but it's okay because we're working out, right? I'm so messy. So there's this girl, okay? I got on this new app, okay? Forget Bumble, Hinge, all of that stuff at this point because one person worked out for me on this app. So like, oh. Anyway, so the crazy story is I was swiping through it yesterday, okay? I was like, yes, no, yes. Because my thing is, it's mainly yeses. At the end of the day, I mean, like, shoot. Like, why is it mainly yeses, actually? I guess I'm just looking in the right place, because I was going to say there's plenty of people that aren't compatible with me. There's actually a lot of people that aren't compatible with me. But I've also become much more open-minded, so, anyway, so I was swiping through, and I remember I saw this girl. Okay, I'm so. If you're currently talking to me, just skip this part. I swear, I mean nothing ill by it, but it's a good story and something that like my future kids could look back at one day. I could look back at one day. I don't know. Why not just talk about it? And so I was swiping, and I saw this girl. Okay, there was this girl. I saw her. I was like, okay, like. Scrolling, because yeah, I scroll. Green flag, I know. Green flag energy. I don't just go swipe. Except on Tinder. On Tinder, I just. But that's only because I know nobody's gonna match. And so it's genuinely just a social experiment at this point. With Tinder, I just go. Genuinely, I be swiping the ads and everything. I'm just using up my likes because nobody's gonna match, and it's just like a goal of mine to just get every single person in my city say yes to them, just to prove that nobody is gonna say yes except like somebody that's like a catfish. But I don't even honestly at this point it's genuinely likely that it's gonna be a zero return rate. I am not doing myself any favors. Anyway, and so I I'm so serious. If you're listening to this, like you should skip out. You can listen out of respect to you. Like I'm not gonna disrespect you, but it's not gonna do you any favors. um, so I was swiping and I saw this girl. The first thing I noticed about this girl was that she said her favorite. I think it was the prompt was like favorite app or favorite thing right now, and they said the Safeway app. Okay, because it's just too dangerous to drive these days. In my mind, all I could think was agoraphobia. You know, like the fear of like leaving your home, of going outside, of you know, Google agoraphobia if you don't know what it is. And it's basically just like the most cliche in this context. It would be she is genuinely afraid to leave the home. I am already an anxious enough person. Okay, I don't need somebody who's more anxious than me or who's anxious about different things than me. An anxious person and an anxious person aren't a good match. They're not a good match. Now, if you guys want to be anxious your entire life, okay, like, yeah, I'll go for it. I'm not judging you. I don't. I want to get past that. I want to live a normal life. And so marrying somebody, which, I mean, whoa, but at the same time, is that not the goal here? It's my goal. I'm not on the dating apps because why else would you get in a relationship? For hookups, I don't do that. So anyway, and so all I can think is she's agoraphobic, and obviously I'm not diagnosing her with that, but like that's the impression I'm getting is she's an anxious person if nothing else, and I don't need that. So I really do think I swipe no. I'm like so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know what? If God wants it, He'll find a way, and we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know if God is destined this, but maybe not. I don't know. But regardless, it's just an example because I'm pretty sure I swiped no yesterday. And usually when you swipe no on a dating app, it's gone forever. They'll weaponize it. They'll be like, oh, you're out of matches, but if you pay for premium, we'll let you see previous matches or something like that. Like they will weaponize it. And then today I'm just at work, okay? I get a notification from the dating app, okay? Ooh. It says, what did it say? It says, somebody viewed your profile 10 times. They're interested or something like that. And I was like, 10 times? They must really like me. So I go, I see who it is. It's the girl that I swiped no to. Like, I'm pretty sure. I mean, like, I'm not like trying to like lie or anything, but I'm pretty sure I swiped no to yesterday because I was like agoraphobia ? And deep. I swear this isn't the drunk podcast, by the way, guys. The drunk podcast I've been teasing isn't this. Okay, I promise it's way better than this. Way better than this. But anyway, so I was like, you know what? If she likes me that much, like, maybe I'll give it a shot. And so I swipe. That's me losing my breath because I swipe. I say my usual like, hey, person's name. Like, how are you? Except usually I just say, how are you? With her, I said, what's up? How are you? Because obviously she was interested. And so I'm willing to put in some more effort if I know you're interested. So I added, what's up? Give me my trophy. Give me my medal. So I said, hey, person, what's up? How are you? Again, me losing my breath because the response wasn't good, HBU. It wasn't good. It wasn't fine. It wasn't leave you on good. It wasn't unmatched. It was, which I don't usually get unmatched, guys. I promise. No, but I'm still honestly in awe because everybody's so dry and lame and boring, and it's always like, I'm good, how are you, I'm blah blah. It's so boring. It's so boring. Um, but it was like good piece of information you can build off of. How are you doing, or something like that? Like a normal person, like normal communication. Why is it so hard? It's not. It's not. It's just like common courtesy to me, which I get. Everyone has different standards, so I can respect that. But it's not hard to do. If somebody is like being polite and like starting up conversation with you, like if an old person came up to you at the store and was like, "Oh my gosh, you look just like my grandson. I'm just like so blah 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 blah." Are you gonna be like, "Okay," and just walk away? No, that's rude. But apparently most of y'all would. Anyway, and so she was like, I can't give this information, especially because it is actual identifiable information. Like, it's not like my social security number is blah blah blah, but it's like my hair is blonde. That's not what she's saying, but in the sense of like, I'm not gonna. It's not my business to put out there. Anyway, and so then I start talking about my business, and then that's me. That's me losing my breath. Bare minimum, by the way. She starts engaging with the conversation. It's not just like, oh, that's so cool, haha, or so what do you do for work, or like boring. It's like it's engaging with the conversation, which is not hard to do, by the way. It's not. It's not hard to do. And so basically, like at work, I went on my lunch break for this girl. I don't like going on my lunch break until I really like have to mentally, because it's the only 30 minutes I get in the day where I'm not like mentally tortured lately. And so it's like the only 30 minutes I get to just do nothing, and I intentionally do nothing. I don't even eat during my lunch break anymore because it's not long enough. Whenever I eat during my lunch break, by the time I'm done eating, it's over. And so anyway, um I go on my lunch break because I really want to talk to this girl, but I can't talk to her like the way that I want to talk to her while I'm like on the clock. Like I can't be like, oh, let me like think of what to say. Let me just blah 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 blah. Like I was like, oh, um, not that I was doing it on the clock. Like that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, that I I do respect the fact that I'm on paid time, and I'm not gonna make them pay me to flirt with a woman. That's crazy. Um, and so I was like all freaking invested. I was like a fiend. I was like, I need to talk to her. Blah, blah. And then I ended up going off for like a few minutes to my dad about how, because I can't get over my argument. How bad am I clipping right now? I need to keep talking at the volume I'm talking at because I'm actually really concerned. But like, it seems like, okay, it'll live. This isn't meant to be the highest quality podcast. It's meant to be, I'm getting it done, okay? Podcast. Anyway, and so, I end up talking to him because like I'm so stuck on the concept of how stupid biology and chemistry is, because we have evolved for children to be like our drugs, and I think especially fathers, okay, mothers, like, okay, fathers, girl, you're dumb, you donated one cell to a woman, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I would die for this child. I'm not going to get into it because genuinely, as we saw during my lunch break, I can spend way too much time arguing it and getting into it. My dad was arguing that the man makes the child, by the way. I apologize on behalf of all men that he even said that. None of y'all knew he said that. Now that you're aware, I apologize on behalf of all men just because he said that. Because what the... He said, his argument was the mother has the egg, but every month it just like it's designed. It was so bad. It's designed every month. It's designed for like an egg to cling on to like his walls, and every month it tears itself down. But he didn't even say this part. I'm making him sound smarter. I'm arguing his argument better than he could argue his argument, which is the egg is the catalyst. Without the egg, there would be no child. Without the uterus, there would be no child. I almost can guarantee you one day women will be able to asexually reproduce. Like, almost definitively over a man being able to do it without a lab. Let me clarify. I'm just saying. That made me like so. I was like, whatever. Like, I forgot. You just waste my time. Respectfully, like, thank you, Father, for like creating me and all that stuff. And then he got into some like dumb like, it is a man's role to be the caretaker and provider in nature. I said, Diva, in nature, if you want to talk about on an animalistic scale, in nature, the man would just have sex with a woman, run off, and never know that she was pregnant. Like, if we're talking animalistically, if we're talking pure biologically. But anyway, and so, um, it's just so like, he's like, the moment it comes out of the uterus, it is the father's responsibility and nobody else's. That is not how the mother feels. I assure you, way more mothers feel that way than fathers feel that way. I assure you of that. But anyway, I just can't. I'm so stuck on that, and I will talk about it anytime that I can, as we're seeing here. But then I was like, I'm getting stuck in a trap. I want to talk to this girl. And I did get stuck in that trap for like 15 minutes of my 30-minute lunch break. And then I was like, I have to shut up because I want to talk to this girl. That's like the whole reason I went on this lunch break, right? And so I end up responding, and it's so funny because I'm consulting this is so funny. I'm consulting ChatGPT, okay? I'm all like, is me saying this like bad? Is this doing too much? Is this too much like, if I were a worm, would you still love me? And then ChatGPT would be like, yes, it is. Don't say that. And then I would just say it. I would just copy part of what ChatGPT said. I would copy it saying like, I really believe, and then it would have all of this context before and all this context after, and I would just only copy the like, I really believe, for example, and then just write everything that I sent it without trying to write everything that I already sent ChatGPT that it said no. And I was like, because you know what? If she doesn't like me, for me, good. For me and her. Like, we're saving ourselves time because I'm not trying to find people that don't like me for me. At this stage, I'm way too old for that. Way too grown. I left that back in like when I was 16 years old. And I mean, I'm still not perfect about it, but I've gotten way better about it. Anyway. And then she stopped responding. It was so funny because we're employed, by the way. Me when we're employed and we don't respond instantly during the day. I really think maybe I'm just used to unemployed people. I don't know, but like that's so disrespect. No disrespect towards the unemployed community. Okay, you have your own struggles. Okay, everyone has their own struggles. Okay, but like it's so normal for an employed person to not instantly respond to you. To not respond to you for hours, for that matter. Honestly, like, their whole shift, they really shouldn't be responding to you. So, and she made it clear she was working. I made it clear I was working. Like, there was no confusion. Day 3 of me not tracking when I started this recording again, so we're either gonna get like a 10-minute recording or like a 2-hour one. I don't know. Anyway, it's basically just gonna be talk until the glass is empty. No, but it's just gonna be talk until I'm done talking at this point. And so she didn't respond, and I was like, because my thing was I actually didn't in the first place. I didn't expect her to respond quickly because people are so slow about responding. People who have way less to do, by the way, are so slow about responding that it's to the point where I'll check like basically like after work every day if I'm interested in somebody if they responded. And I've gotten really good about it, by the way. I unmatched from a girl the other day because she was just doesn't matter. I can't be talking about that. Yes, I can. I unmatched from her because she was just like clearly not interested. And it's just like, I don't play that game anymore. I used to play that game, but ChatGPT said give her 24 to 48 hours because maybe she is interested and just busy or something. I don't know. I was like, fine. 48 hours passed. Click, unmatch, goodbye. Respectfully. Same with that's just been the pattern. Anyway, so when she was responding fast, I was like, ooh, green flag. then she hit me with, okay, so I asked my would you still love me if I was a worm question, which isn't what I actually said at all, because we don't love each other, we don't know each other. By the way, we met like 20 minutes ago. I said, what did she say? Okay, I said, it's cut off, so I'm just gonna have to tell you from memory. Don't be reading my phone, you nosy. I said something along the lines of, oh shoot, if I was a customer where you worked at and you recognized me as your customer, would you have still swiped yes? It's very much giving, if I was a worm, would you still love me? The beginning stages. But that, to be fair, that is who I am as a person. I'd be asking questions like that, except usually it's more like, if you had, oh, I can't say that. I still don't know the rules actually of Spotify podcasting and what you can and can't say, so I just play it super safe. I ask more like, if you either had to be unalived in front of somebody who's in love with you, or have somebody who's in love with you be unalived in front of you, what would you choose? I'd be asking questions like that, but it's still very much, if I were a worm, would you still love me? Core. Anyway, and so I asked, I was like, if I was like a customer that you recognized, would you still have swiped on me? Why do I make that noise as if that's like the noise of me losing my breath? I go, it's like, that's like a moan. It's just like, there we go. But I don't know. But my breath, my jaw, everything just when she said this, okay? So she said, let me pull it up. She said, I'm known for being a troublemaker, so I probably still would have. I was gagged. I didn't know what to say. I was speechless. I was sending her words like a stuttering. If this was real life, I would have been like, and then fallen to the ground and needed a minute. In which case, after the minute, I would have said what I said, which was, I'd be your favorite customer. Oh, I'm not telling y'all actually how I flirt. That's embarrassing. Why am I publicly exposing myself about this? Actually, I should. Okay, I said, no, I'd be your favorite customer. I'd behave with like a flirty emoji. And then I said something that I'm not going to say because that could be more, again, not my business to reveal. And I kid you not, that's not enough, okay? That's not enough because I'm not giving her something to build off of. I'm not continuing the conversation. That's the equivalent of if I was all like, wow, I really like that tracksuit. What are you like? Are you like an Olympic athlete? Like, what made you buy that? It's the equivalent of if your response to that was, oh, thanks. It's nice. It's like technically you addressed it. But there's so much to give that you're not giving there. And so I knew I had to say something, but I couldn't. I was stunned. I was shocked. I was appalled. I'm usually the flirter, okay? And she was like, she just knocked the wind right out of me, basically. I was like, and I was asking ChatGPT, I was like, quick, what do I say? What do I say? And ChatGPT was just so bad. It was so dumb. It was so bad. I was like, I can't say any of that. I can't say any of that. But I need to say something because I am interested. If this was Instagram Reels and I was scrolling, I would click the 3 dots and click interested. I am interested. I would share that reel. I would, whatever I had to do. Like, more. But like, I just couldn't think. Because all I could think about was, I'm known to be mischievous. So, yeah. Which is me paraphrasing it, because I can't really say why that's so significant, why my mind just dropped. We just have to go based on the paraphrasing. I mean, I've said it all. I've said what they said and all that stuff, but like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Anyway, and so eventually I came up with I was like, okay, think, Logan, think. And so I was like, okay. And then I saw at the top there's like stuff related to her. And then I was like, oh, let me go back to her profile. And then I remembered one of the distinguishing things that stood out to me was some place that she said she liked. And I thought about how it could have been a good opener under different circumstances. Like, where, I don't know, like if I had to open up with somebody or something and I had to be the one carrying the conversation, which clearly was not the case, thank God. Genuinely, like, but like, um, I just genuinely like didn't need to use it, but I was like, I can use it. I'll use it. I'll use it. Um, and I was like, okay, good. Now I just need a minute. I actually need a few minutes. And then, she didn't respond for a while. This is us finally getting to the point where she didn't respond for a while, and I was all like, dang. I done did it. Should have used ChatGPT. I was too messy because my syntax, my everything was just so messy. It's like with ChatGPT, it's fantastic because I could get ChatGPT to get my like messy chaos thought and sort it out for me and make it make more sense, you know. But like it'll fix the grammar. Literally is all. And so I wasn't doing that. I was just sending whatever I thought as I thought it basically. Uh, and that was cool for a minute, but I was like, yeah, no, maybe I done messed up, and I was like, honestly, it's good if I messed up though because now I know, you know, better than me playing the roles I think she wants, and then best case scenario us breaking up in a month or a year or more horribly. That'd be so horrible. And so yeah. Um. Anyway, so I had to finish my shift. I guess that makes sense. And then I finish my shift. I get home. I'm like, I like hallucinate her messaging me. And I was like, I don't think she did. I think I'm just like hoping. I think it's just wishful thinking. So I double checked my phone and she didn't. And I was like, okay, like Logan, get over it. You met the girl like 3 hours ago. Like you actually didn't know this girl existed 48 hours ago, by the way. um, and then I was like, your anxious attachment showing, Logan, and we've been working on that. So, and so then um I pour my wine, I eat some hot dogs because again, this was also, by the way, before. I can't tell if y'all can see my dog right now. Probably. I can't tell if you. Yeah, you definitely can because I'm seeing movement right here. Yeah, maybe you're just seeing my hand actually. Anyway, it's right here. You're welcome. Me redirecting all y'all's attention to the not significant thing going on. Anyway, and so then right, like I'm all chilling still. I'm like, oh, I have a glass of wine. Well, I poured a glass of wine. I didn't have it yet. And I lay down, and I was like, I can't lay down because one thing about me is if I'm drinking, I'm not laying down. That's giving. I don't know. I don't like that. That makes me uncomfortable. And so, usually whenever I'm like having some wine, it actually like always, it's probably gonna become an association. I hope not. I don't. Not necessarily that it's a bad association, but just associating alcohol or anything like that with anything is kind of just dangerous, even if it doesn't always turn out bad. It's just not ideal. Anyway, and so I was realizing I just want to lay down because I'm sore because I've gotten back into working out and I need to get up. I'll be fine. Any other time when I'm not working out, I'm totally fine not laying down. And so I get up and then I realize Coachella's coming. I'm busy literally from like 6 a.m. until like 8 p.m. tomorrow probably. And then I have to go to sleep at 8 p.m. to go to work the next day. And then the next day after work I have to go to Coachella. Not literally because I'm not actually going to Coachella because that's expensive, but you know what I mean. I have to prepare for my own Coachella. And so I will, I don't know. I'm just super busy, and so I'm like, I can't not record. I can't not do this stuff. Yes, I want to cook. Yes, I want to do my laundry, kind of. But like, I I have to pick the bigger fish to fry. Um, and that's gonna be this. This is the hardest because I have to film this. I have to edit it. I have to do all this. So I was like, even though I wanted today, I really wanted a day off. I was like, you know what? I can deal with it on Friday. I can't. I can't deal with it Friday because Friday is the first day of Coachella. Um, and so I really don't have much of a choice, like whatsoever at all. And so I sat myself down, got everything set up, started recording as I boiled my pasta to multitask, and now we're here. Um, and yeah, I mean that's been the major things going on. I'm I'm gonna have to keep y'all updated on my love life because I've never really had much of a love life. I mean, I had a girlfriend when I was like 14. That was I want to say that was in 2016, but I don't think so. I think it was 2019. I really do think it was 2019. And so, um, yeah. Anyway, I've never been like the flirting, going out and all that stuff type of person. But now I am. And it's very interesting. That's another thing we'll have to get into in a different podcast. But oh, and to address my Sabrina Carpenter hate, because I mentioned it and I can't just not address it now. Um I genuinely was thinking, I was like, when because I kind of have to, like, I have to watch the Sabrina Carpenter show, or I have to intentionally not watch it. I will have to think the whole time, I'm so glad I'm not watching the Sabrina Carpenter show. It's just like, why waste the energy on that? And so, yeah, I don't like Sabrina Carpenter because she like disrespected the church with her music video. And I only know about the music video. I don't know if there was anything else. But I know the music video I at least saw, and I was like, oh, girl. Like, I was never a fan of, same with like Tatiana, Tate McRae, Tatiana, the baddie version of the artist. I've never been a fan of that. Like, Taylor Swift's song Would is like the perfect metaphor for it. That kind of artist genre, I don't know. Doja Cat, Cardi B, Tate McRae's Tatiana personality. I loved Tate McRae too, but she's just become Tatiana, and it's just so sad. Like, I don't hate her, but I hate that personality. You know what I mean? And so I don't hate that personality. I should say I. That's what I'm figuring it out. That's what I'm figuring out is the thing. And so, like, Sabrina Carpenter, that's her whole thing. That's her whole thing, is being a baddie. Like, I can't say that. Being a, I don't know the word for it, but like, just being like a baddie, sexy girl. That's her thing. Like almost like a modern day playboy girl. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like a huge thing in like the pop industry right now and stuff. Great for them. That's not even what bothers me. What bothered me was like the disrespecting the church. But then to play off of it, I liked emails. Because emails I won't send, and the forward edition, fantastic. Sabrina ate with those. She has not since been that personality. Granted, I don't listen to her music ever since she did what she did with the church. But like, I mean, I've never been like a huge Sabrina person anyway. It was just that album. And I can't really be like, I hate her. Because that's not very, like, it's not very godly to be like, I hate somebody in general for any reason actually. But B, no. And so I have to get over that. That's my thing that I'm going to be working on. And so I'm going to have to watch her performance and just not hate watch it. Because the options are not either hate watch it or don't watch it. Those are not the options. It's not that black and white. And I tend to be a very black and white person, but we're not doing that. But yeah, so that's my take on Sabrina Carpenter. Very complicated, but I'm excited. Olivia Rodrigo is releasing a new album in June. I have high hopes. Now, granted, she's never released an album that when it came out, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. She's never, ever, ever, ever done that. Ever, 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 ever. Cannot emphasize that enough. I forced myself to like Sour. Um, I still don't really like Guts. I listened to it. But again, I never, ever, 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 ever have had an Olivia Rodrigo album where I was like, this is the best thing I've ever heard in my life. Ever, 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 ever. Like, every song I had to listen to many, many times, and then the exposure therapy made me comfortable with it. Uh, but anyway, like, I have a lot of hopes because this album sounds really sad because it's called, and I might get it wrong, don't cancel me, but it's called You Look Sad for a Girl So in Love, I think is what it's called. And it sounds like my type of music, but we'll see. But yeah, we're gonna end it here. I'm gonna get to cooking. Let's get cooking. Miss Remy Ashton has came out with a cooking book, by the way, you guys. No, I'm joking. I'm not like a die-hard Miss Remy Ashton supporter, but like I've always loved Miss Remy Ashton since my freshman year of college. For like 4 or 5 years now. I've known of Miss Remy Ashton, and I've liked her and all that stuff. But anyway, that's when. By the way, when I say let's get cooking, that's what I'm referencing. Allegedly. Allegedly, I am. Maybe I'm not. Anyway, and it's so exciting for her having a cookbook, a recipe book. I'd buy it, but it looks expensive. But anyway, thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoyed this week's podcast, please like it. Please leave a really good rating. 5 stars, 10 stars, thumbs up, whatever the best rating is, please. It means so much. It helps you so much, especially if you share it. Oh my gosh. Thank you all so much for putting up with me every week. I love you every single day of the week. That's not what I meant to say, but I do. I meant to say I love you all. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to get to cooking because I have like no food, and I have food, but I'm just not cooking it. So I need to actually get cooking. And so I'm going to start doing that. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. And goodbye, wonderful, beautiful people. I love you. I will see y'all. Oh, wait. Let's finish this while we're on camera. Ready? Cheers. Should I? No. Cheers.